and civic awareness, you have already created a middle class. When you have a stable middle class that you are now working as a government to see that everybody's salary take home will last them standard 30 days, you have a standard egalitarian society. You can move from any part of this country to any part of this country. If we achieve that, believe you me, this is enough for a lifetime.
Senator Datti, I find that you're very interested in education, and it's a good thing. Well, let me ask you this. In this political era, it seems like an unprecedented chain of events going on. And it would seem that Nigerians are now very much alert and aware and would not be holding just the president to account for anything. So I ask you this as a vice presidential candidate, because you have talked about Peter Obi and what he brings to the table. So I ask you, what will you bring to the table as vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party?
I will give you a different answer from the one I gave earlier today. But just bear it in mind. The system we have is presidential. The president and commander-in-chief is alpha and omega in this system. But in my own right, if you ask what I bring to you prudent procurement. The moment you eliminate inflated government contracts, which Peter Obi did in the 8 years he was governor, the moment you eliminate that, you have money to spend on improving working conditions. The moment you are able to attract more and retain most of your earned revenue, you are good to go. This is what I'll bring. In addition to the pyramid I was speaking to you about, these two things, the pyramid of enlightenment above basic literacy, above basic awareness, over that education and professionalism, that pyramid, and then procurement system. What you see today, what they call due process office, Bureau for Public Procurement, in 1999, I was behind it. As a young man, I designed it, I wrote it, but as God will have it, never had the chance. When I was among about 1,000 members that would have been to the National Assembly, and I invited to go and confirm the records, only I sponsored the bill against inflated government contracts. This has destroyed Nigeria in the last 60 years. We've had all sorts of calls against corruption. And then when it comes to doing the right thing, they just turn away because they're going to benefit from it. Governor Peter and Obi and I are not interested in benefiting, and all the people that will bring on board. We are telling you, have an issue. We are not interested. We will not bring our relatives and cousins and nephews and all that to run government. We will not do that. Let Nigeria's money go to work for Nigerians. Peter Obi said he's allergic to money being spent wrongly. That's a very, very smart comment to make. And it summarizes what I end up writing books on, writing proposals on. Nigeria's money will not be wasted. Simple. All our money, what we save from a 10 billion naira project, will channel it through better working conditions, and that is what Labour does.
Now, while you talk about your qualifications and the plans that the Obi Datti ticket has for Nigerians, I'd like to ask you this question. Beyond the governance aspect of things, we've seen Peter Obi gain popularity among a certain number of Nigerians, and even you have said that it's about 8 million now. What would you bring in terms of political strength? I understand you come from a popular and large family. How would you contribute to the numbers to win this election?
I already am succeeding in convincing a large part of our side and making references to the holy books that a Christian is not a disbeliever. They are people of the scriptures. I can tell you that 90% of the people who are relating with the other side of Nigeria do not even understand the difference between a Christian and a disbeliever. Like the name of Jesus is mentioned so many times in the Holy Quran. Prophet Abraham, which is the same lineage that comes down in it. I'm beginning to succeed and working with people. Then I'm also succeeding in saying that God makes no mistakes, will never make, can never happen. Putting us all together in Nigeria, in one country you have Muslims and Christians, in one state Muslims and in one local government, in one word you have, that is not a mistake. And I am succeeding in proving that, look, okay, look at the statistics. Think logically, what has happened to you in the last 8 years? Have you become more secure? Just answer it yourself. No. Who was in charge? And they can't answer, they keep quiet. Now, what is your interest? Is your interest to be secured and prosperous? Yes. All right. Please let us find somebody who will do that for you, irrespective of his name. That is what politics is about.
You know the concern for
Then I am also succeeding in engendering generational change. I'm also succeeding in bringing people to think business in governance. I'm succeeding in people to see that, in fact, it is easier to make money. Since Nigerians love making money, we can show you and we can allow you how to make a lot more money as a private citizen. I'm succeeding in showing that going the government way is not the way to become rich.
Settle that. Just 1 second. Let me ask you this question. You know, the way politics is run in Nigeria is a little different. We're hoping for a change, yes. But there are concerns that should you win, should the Labour Party win the presidential election, how would you govern, considering the fact that you will need the National Assembly and, to an extent, some governors to govern this country?
Good. The Constitution is very clear. The moment President and Commander-in-Chief is sworn in, he remains in his own right and has very clear-cut relationship. Form your budget, send it to the National Assembly. If there's a law you want, if there's a law they want, they send it to you for assembly. That is the basic. Now, we believe we're going to convert the better part of Nigeria. If not into the Labour Party, we'll convert them into the Labour way. Because if in the first 3 months, Nigerians feel they can travel all over Nigeria in relative safety, if in the first 3 months we don't see the Naira slide, if in the first 3 months no community is attacked by another, if in the first 3 months I, for example, succeed in, for example, every Sunday when I see in Kaduna and even here in Abuja, when Christians are in church, that you have to block the road because they don't feel safe. Now you feel safe. You don't need any extra security. Nobody is going to attack you. That is the freedom and liberty. If we succeed in the first 3 months, people see the trajectory we have taken. None of Peter Obi's relatives are in the villa calling the shots. No system in the CBN is attributed to Peter Obi or any other person myself in which Nigeria is being ripped off. The whole Nigeria, and they see the flow of foreign capital. They see the return of Nigerian diaspora, medical doctors coming back to open hospitals, open industries, start assembling computers, motorcycles, and even vehicles in Nigeria. If they see that happen, Nigeria has changed and it is no longer about political party. It is about success and the lack of.
So you're not concerned that if you don't get the numbers in the National Assembly, that the efforts of your administration, if you win, could be frustrated? some legislations that you may require to work, and then there's the issue of a possible impeachment. You're not concerned about that?
We're not concerned about that because you can't just impeach somebody who is succeeding. Why? It doesn't make sense. What is the point? Why should you? He is bringing safety and security to Nigeria. Foreign investment is flowing. Nigerians are at liberty to travel. Nigeria is now starting to belong to Nigerians. Now it doesn't belong to us. It belongs to the people in the bush. When it belongs to you, anybody who moves against you, the people from the constituency will begin to recall them. Right now, we are more overwhelmed, not about the next elections, not about how rosy and comfortable it will be in the villa or in the other side of the villa. We are more concerned about, first of all, stop killing, stop abducting, no community to be, and for God's sake, there is one message to be passed. And if you kill, Nigerian forces will kill you. No two ways to it. You will not escape. It's a basic law. It's the law of Nigeria. You can't kill and then escape into thin air.
One of the things that a lot of people have pointed to is the number of young people that are behind Peter Obi, which I believe is now the Obi Dat movement. I believe that. But there are concerns, and I think this is also something that the bigger parties, the APC and the PDP, are banking on. The talk that social media will not vote. When you see this set of young people alert.
I know your question. Let me just answer you. To save time.
Okay, go ahead.
Go and start looking at the bookings of major European airlines into Nigeria. Not during Christmas time. Funny enough, this time after Christmas time. Late January to third week of February. You will see that they are getting full. Unusually, I'm into the business of data and statistics. And I decided to particularly look at that. This tells you that social media is going to vote. Social media, even if they're in Canada, look, even if they're in Antarctica, one person is there and he mobilizes 100,000 people here to go out and vote. It has succeeded. But we're not scared. The bank balance of any big politician is starting to be irrelevant. Those of us who sweated for the little that we have, we're spending it very wisely and very carefully. And those of them who made it from government will just open the coffers and bring it out. They will continue to splash it, and it will continue to mean less and less till the election hour. It will continue to mean less and less. Plot the 4 political parties on a graph, and going forward now, mark my words, the only way the misruling party will go is sliding downward. There was an attack in J prison right inside FCT. Tell me if our leader went there, so-called leader went there, or anybody else. They're interested in politics.
Which
not the
leaders?
lives. I don't have to call names. National leader. Tell me the president. Tell me the president went there. You're forcing me to say it now.
The president was there.
I mean, like the families of those who have been attacked. They need to be visited. The hospitals where they are. We're not talking about ceremonies of that thing. When we say be there, it means be there all the way. There are families now who of the security men attacked and all that. How will they live? So don't be there in ceremony. Don't be there in picture. Don't be there in news. Do you understand? This is not what we stand for. Be there effectually all the way. Ensure that all that is to be done to their families have been done. Anyway, before you interrupted me, I was talking about the trajectory of the political parties. The only way the second party will go after its 16 years rule, I think, is stagnation. Another party came out and it looks like after the first week it had finished its expansion. Only one party is on green fertile land, LP, because Nigerians are realizing by the hour that the profession that they belong to is by default labor.
Senator Datti, let's go on a break. And when we come back, we will conclude on that thought and wrap up.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. Please stay with us.